Welcome back, everyone. This is Airfelon playing Magical Bringer Korona the movie. Who's ready to fight Dark Korona? I certainly hope I am, because that's what we're doing. Last time, because of the meddling of the gods, Dark Korona took over, promptly thanked them by blasting the comet out of the sky, because although she's quite willing to accept their help to break out and take over, she's not interested in actually doing what anyone tells her to. And because Noel wasn't cooperative, she also took down Noel, right away. Which basically leaves no one to stop her but Pleia. So Pleia is attempting to do that. That doesn't help. Okay, so that's off to a bad start. You'll notice that much like having Korona's heroic music playing when fighting Dark Korona in Korona 1, we have Pleia's music. It's Pleia's heroic music, which we haven't heard since Act 1, I think. This is actually a partial remix of the Pleia end boss from Korona 1. Particularly this part here. Anyway, here's our first special attack. Pulsate Blade is a good way to get things going. Dark Korona, as I've mentioned before, is kind of a berserker kind of character. She can do a lot of damage, but she's relatively frail, does not have high defense, cannot take a lot of a beating. So her health is going down fairly quickly. Particularly for an Act 5 opponent. However, she does get her signature special attack, Korona Genocide. Now, I should easily be above the 55 threshold for this to get kind of psychotic. I should probably say that, but eh. So there, that means egotism, basically. I missed one chip. But yeah, not as bad as it was in Korona 1. And I was clicked out of the window there for a bit to open my notes, which I forgot to do. Yeah, Jigakyo is basically egomania. I mean, this is Dark Korona. I should be taking her a little more seriously. The other thing in the cut-in there that I skipped over, well, I wait until her attack's done. The other thing for the cut-in. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That's probably pretty familiar to a lot of people. That's from Luke 23:34 of the King James Version. Skip this to the special. Timing's a little off there, but it's still a good amount of damage. Anyways, I was saying, this line is from Luke 23:34, King James Version. It's one of the things Jesus said while on the cross. It's basically indicative of an incredible capacity of forgiveness. Yeah. As well as basically saying that people who thought they were in charge really didn't know what they were up to. But quoting the line here seems more to indicate that Dark Korona is out of control than anything else. Anyway. Let's keep going with the battle. Try not to beat up too much again. I do want to get this first try if possible. It's as I mentioned with the Dark Korona Korona 1 battle video, Korona Genocide in this game is the same general idea. It has the same sort of things that it does, but it's not as bad. It's not as ridiculously fast. It's not quite as chaotic, maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna try this again. It's what I did with the Noel battle where I left the energy at level 1 on purpose. Which means more specials and getting charged up again faster. It does mean you don't do as much damage on Babel, but I think being able to get more specials and recharge more quickly will offset that. Huh. Okay, I guess it was just coincidence then last time, because... when I did that with Noel, I got a level 1 special immediately afterwards, when it got back down to level 1. So I assumed it worked like the Quick Burst. But apparently not. And if not, it may be better just to use the whole special attack and... oh. I think this will work out, so we're fine either way. So, it's something to think about. She's just about down. Okay, that gets us up to level 2. Which will mean a Thunder Discharge next turn, and then the Quick Burst after that for a Voltic Blade should finish her off. Just a little more. I'll let this play. Yeah, when it gets that tight, it seems like I either can't quite get it fast enough or I overdo it. Right, I was going to Quick Burst. We'll let this play out too. And this should be enough to finish it out. As I mentioned, Dark Korona has rather low defense, so...
Strong! Strong! Okay then, it's a special occasion. I'll show you the one I've been saving!
And here's a little gimmick to this battle. It's actually unwinnable. If you lose in the main course of the battle, it just ends and the story continues as usual. But if you get to this point, if you exhaust her health, this happens. She has a new special attack. And the game at this point will completely ignore your input, so you cannot block that. It's completely unblockable here, and it does enough damage that you will not survive it, so you end up losing the battle anyway. The thing with that, however, is if you get to that point, if you see that little special cutscene, that counts as winning as far as scoring goes. You get plus 10 to your score regardless of your health. But for now...
What's the matter? Done already? What a disgrace.
It's no good. She's too far beyond me. I was a fool to think I could win.
They call you a magical girl of justice? What a joke. You know why you've been winning? Face it, it's because no one you fought has been serious about it. You've all just been playing at fighting, not willing to make a kill. No one that half-hearted can stand a chance at beating me. After all, I can kill! Even you, Subaru-chan. See? Here and now. Like this! I'll show you what a real fight is.
The monster lurking in Sakura-senpai, Dark Korona, suddenly closed in. This distance... Oh no. She's in sword range.
Bye-bye, Subaru-chan.
But what's this?
Subaru!
Belith-chan?
Huh? I cut something else.
Belith-chan! I lift the fallen angel from the ground and feel a tepid slime. Red liquid flows from her wound. I don't want to think about what it must be. Belith-chan, hang on! Her small body is limp and unmoving. The life is fading from her unconscious face. No. Belith-chan, shielding me.
Well, that was unexpected. Don't worry, though. I'll send you right along with her to the other side. Aw, you're totally out of it? It's no fun cutting you down if you don't cower or scream or something. Oh, whatever. It doesn't change that I'm still gonna cut you down anyway.
And another timely interruption.
Yay, Cromm-san! You're here for me!
Not for you. To avenge Noel-sama. Alright, I made it.
Huh? Yo-san, didn't you run away?
I just left temporarily then, because Noel-sama was more important, yeah? Damned if I'm heading back this time before I beat your face in. Hey, Subaru, we'll hold her off here. Take Belith and go. Right. Levia-sama and Yuka are treating Noel-sama. Get her to the castle and she could still make it, yeah? Understood. Thank you, both of you.
How interesting. Rousing developments like this are so nice. I just love them.
I'm so thrilled to hear you're satisfied, yeah? Don't joke around, y'all. This isn't Korona we're facing, but a vile enemy who harmed our liege. It is time to carry out our mission as knights. Show no mercy.
Ooh, both of you together? I sure hope so. Show me that combination of yours, for old time's sake.
Such was our intention all along.
This'll be fun. Come on now, come at me when you like.
Very well. Chief Knight Bodyguard to Belzebuth, Bloody Crescent Cromm. Likewise, Bodyguard to Belzebuth, Creeping Chaos, Nyal Totep. Now we go. Yoshimi-san? Senpai, how is Belith-chan? Well, she's stable anyway. I see. You would have been in grave danger had you been any later. But the Miko of Genbu has made great efforts. Oh no, I didn't really. I couldn't have done anything without your magical power, Levia-san. Then let us say we have both made great efforts. Let us next check on Noel. Yes. Goodness. One severe injury carted in after another. Such a taxing day. Senpai, thank you. Don't worry about it. My other dream was nursing, so I've kind of wanted to do this. Yoshiyumi-san, what's done is done. Worrying about whether it was right or wrong is all just hindsight now. For now, shouldn't you just put your heart into whatever you can do? I don't have the power to stop a yin-tainted Korona-chan, so at least I want to work with Levia-san to heal the wounds of others. Senpai. I'll be going now. Cheer Belith-chan up. Yes. Belith-chan.
Yo, Subaru!
The small fallen angel was sitting in bed in a distressing state. Her green dress had been changed out for thin white clothing like that worn in a hospital, and her head and arms were strewn with bandages. I couldn't find words to offer.
You don't gotta make that face. I ain't human, so I'm not gonna die as easy as that. Yuka-senpai's overreacting too, wrapping me up like this. Though the stuff I normally wear is done for, all chopped up and bloody. Look, I'm fine, I swear. Don't get all weepy on me.
Even as she spoke, Belith-chan's body wobbled like she was missing an axle. Her efforts to act like it was perfectly healthy just made it worse. I'm sorry, Belith-chan. If I hadn't fallen for her transparent provocation...
Don't sweat it, it's all good. And I found a way to make myself useful as a shield, at least. Besides, we both made it back alive.
Yes.
Anyway, how was your talk with Noel? You guys fought it out, right? Who won?
I won.
I knew you would.
She said, I can take you wherever I wish.
Really? You did it, Subaru. Ow, 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 ow.
Belith-chan.
I got a bit too worked up.
Good grief, you're not fine at all. Come on, lie down for a bit. I'll lie down with you.
Okay.
I lay on the bed with Belith-chan. The castle is in turmoil. That's only natural. Its leaves was carried in with serious wounds. Sometimes I can faintly hear distant sounds like tremors and explosions. Those two are fighting.
Hey, Subaru.
Yes?
Can I go to your home in the human world?
Yes.
And can I live there?
That's fine with me. I don't think Akira-san would mind either.
Then maybe I'll take you up on that.
We'll welcome you, Belith-chan.
Let's play video games again.
Alright, but go easy on me?
Fine, fine. And I want to eat in peace next time.
Ah, yes, things did get a bit hectic.
Rice, natto, and fried eggs. I'd love to eat some more of your fried eggs.
If you like them so much, I wouldn't mind making them every day for you.
Thanks. They had, well, a kind flavor.
A kind flavor?
Sugary to please a kid. I like that flavor.
To please a kid. Subaru-chan, are you making fried eggs again? Yes, I'm sorry for doing the same thing every day. No, that's fine. Your mother always did make such delicious fried eggs. I can't seem to get the flavor quite right. No, it isn't easy to perfectly recreate another's work. Chasing after my brother has made me well aware of that. I won't complain if there's fried eggs on the table every day. Feel free to keep trying to get it right until you're satisfied. Thank you. I see. Those were my mother's fried eggs. For a while after it became just me and Akira-san, I fried eggs every day after day, trying to make them just like my mother had. At some point, that had just become the new norm. I'd forgotten whose flavor I was pursuing, why fried eggs had become my specialty. It wasn't for anyone else. I just yearned for it. I wanted to eat my mother's fried eggs again. I fried those eggs for me. I understand, Belith-chan. That flavor? Belith-chan? But there are still things to resolve. Yoshiyume-sama? Raim-san, are you feeling better? Yes, thank you. Well enough to move about, at least. I see. Yoshiyume-sama, where are you going? Just stepping out for a bit. Please look after Belith-chan. Then you are returning to battle? After the trouble it took to save your wife, surely there is no need to squander it. More to the point, now is the time for you to stay by her side. If I flee the enemy before me, I feel as though I won't be able to pat her head anymore. I couldn't protect her then. The first close friend I've made, who told me she loves me, yet I couldn't protect her. I don't want to further betray her. I can scarcely understand this. You have been with Belith but a week. A mere week, you understand. Why face such a dangerous battle for a fallen angel you've only just met? Not just for Belith-chan. For myself. I'm going to settle the score with myself. I've been treating all my battles like they're other people's fault. My father, my mother, my uncle, Amanagawa-senpai, Belith-chan? No. It's not any of them. I fight. I strive for strength not because of anyone else. It's for myself. I fought to realize my wishes, to be the person I am. I'm done with running away from that by pinning it on someone else. If you so insist, I will not stop you. However, Yoshiyume-sama? Yes? I have made a promise to instruct you in cooking. Please remain safe. Thank you. I swear I'll bring Sakura-senpai to her senses and make it back. And back up in the mountains. Sorry, Cromm. That's it for me. Yeah. Yeah.
You finally quieted down. It's no fair to keep healing those wounds. Well, I guess that means Kromm-san is up next. This really takes me back. It's you putting her in a crisis by getting her to drink poison that woke the dark power sealed inside. By which I mean me, of course. Now, let's have some fun again. You'll keep being amused like you did last time, won't you?
You dare. I will not fall so easily.
Ha ha.
That's far enough, Sakura-senpai. No, Dark Korona. Subaru, Yoshiyume. You have my thanks. Belith was saved because of you two. I shall face Dark Korona now. Please take Nyal-san and leave. Hurry! My thanks.
Ah, just when I finally had them helpless.
You think it's fun to torment the helpless?
Of course it's fun. The more overwhelming a one-sided victory is, the better it feels.
You can't call that winning. You're just afraid of a fair fight. You're afraid of losing. That's why you pick on the weak.
You're as annoyingly fussy as ever. Subaru-chan, I hate that about you.
Yes, so do I. But she is strong. She never used the word hate, no matter what she was faced with. And she would never run away. Weak as you are, fighting you would be meaningless. Would you mind giving back the strong Sakura-senpai?
Me? Weak? You're one to talk, beat up as you got. Picking a fight with me? Looks like you just can't get over me cutting that demon, huh?
I'll say it one more time. Please return, Sakura-senpai.
How about no? I'm finally out. I gotta make sure to enjoy myself while I can this time.
Then I'll send you back by force.
Huh, you really want to get killed maybe that badly? I'll grant your wish then. I'll kill you in the worst possible way and make you feel despair. Speed's all you've got going for you, so what happens when you lose that?
Lose my speed?
I can move faster than you can. Super-chan, poor you. Thought you were the fastest, didn't you?
You're the pitiable one. You think I'm only good for speed? That's just going to trip you up.
Everything you say pisses me off. Fine, I won't show you any mercy. Just this once, I'll go all out to kill you, so you better be ready.
All systems on full standby. Rapid ascent, high speed mode. Attack target, Dark Korona. Limiter, disengaged. And let's stop it here for now. This has been Arafellin playing Magical Bringer Korona the movie. Next time, we're going to fight Dark Korona in full earnest and seriousness, and it will not be easy. Hope to see you then.